Whether it's by hanging or drinking poison, in Guyana, almost everyone knows somebody who's committed suicide.
Me and my husband had problems, and I just go and take the poison and drink it.
Why Guyana has the highest rate of suicide in the world.
Cell phone taken away, commit suicide. Your mother say don't talk to the guy older than you, commit suicide.
What's being done to bring them back from the brink. And later, a high-stakes battle among bullfinches. But this isn't fighting, it's whistling. How a cultural pastime has now run afoul of Trinidadian law. On this episode of 18 Degrees North.
Homeowners Relief Line can help save your home. We specialize in foreclosure assistance, and that's all we do. If you're behind on your mortgage payments, being threatened with foreclosure, have been denied a loan modification, or been the victim of a predatory loan, it's critical that you call Homeowners Relief Line now. Homeowners Relief Line has a network of attorneys, and our agents are available to speak to you right away. New laws are in effect that may save your home, so call Homeowners Relief Line now.
Hello, I'm Zara Burton, and welcome to 18 Degrees North. It's from right here in Kingston, Jamaica, where every week we're going to take you on a global journey with us as we bring you a newer perspective on Caribbean affairs. And we begin our show in Guyana, the scene of a mass suicide in 1978. American Jim Jones led 900 of his religious followers to drink a cyanide-laced substance in Jonestown. Almost 40 years later, suicide is still casting a shadow of death over this CARICOM nation. In fact, Guyana has the highest rate of suicide in the world. So why are so many of its people taking their own lives? And why hasn't the country been able to prevent it? 18 Degrees North went into the Berbice region to investigate at 6 degrees north and 58 degrees west. In this rural community, 2 hours north of the capital, Georgetown, residents water their crops, raise chickens, rear cattle. Things seem perfectly normal. But here in Berbice, something else more disturbing is just as normal. The tragic way friends and family choose to die. Samindra Suraj Bali lived through her husband's suicide in 1990. 13 years later, her eldest son would make the same fatal choice because of problems with his wife.
She picked up herself and left a lot of problems. She went away for about 6 weeks and he ended up hanging himself. It was like I was just not myself. I couldn't feel my body. I was just numb and crying.
Only cry.
The pain would be compounded yet again when her second son drank poison. He too had marital problems.
When I went to the hospital, he told me he wasn't going to live. He cried saying, "Mommy, I'm not going to live." When I left the New Amsterdam hospital, he held my hand and started crying. Ma, Mommy. The nurse told me he cried all night until he died. I couldn't really do anything. I cried.
Whether it's by hanging or drinking poison, in Guyana, almost everybody knows someone who's committed suicide. They're typically poor males, under 35, uneducated, Hindu, and East Indian. Cultural influences from India also play a role, where some would rather kill themselves than bring shame on the family. Now Guyana has the highest rate of suicide in the Caribbean, with almost 7 suicides each week. In fact, the World Health Organization says that's the highest in the world.
Do we have a serious problem? The answer unequivocally is yes. And do we need to act with greater urgency? The answer is unequivocally yes.
The WHO says most people who commit suicide have a mental disorder. To combat the problem, Guyana has increased mental health funding over the years, established a suicide hotline, and instituted school and community-based suicide prevention programs. But even after all this, there are still fewer than 5 psychiatrists for the country's 750,000 people. The WHO says mental health professionals mostly lack expertise. The number of suicides remains disturbingly high and have even taken an uglier turn. Now a rash of murder-suicides tops the daily news headlines.
Appears to be a murder and suicide.
The man reportedly shot and killed his wife and then turned the weapon upon himself. The brutal murder of a woman at the hands of her reputed husband, who then took his life.
Guyana, in spite of all the efforts, continue not to be able to make a dent in terms of the suicide problem. Unless we are able to identify people with depression, unless we are able to identify people with other mental health problems, we will continue to be unable to address this.
Samindra saw signs in her first son that went untreated.
He would sit by himself. He didn't want to go anywhere. I sent him food. He didn't want the food. So I talked to him about why he didn't want to eat. I didn't take him for treatment. I just sat and talked to him.
For every successful case of suicide, there are about 20 others who try. A few blocks from Samindra, Mala Ramnarayan is in a better place now, but tried to kill herself twice in the past by ingesting poison.
Me and my husband had problem, like just normal problem. He just vex and attack with me. And I just go and take the poison and drink it. When I drink it down, then he come take me to the hospital. Them just shove a tube down my throat and then throw water by bucket. And so I throw up, and then they send me to New Amsterdam.
2 years later, she tried again.
The second time I just did it for like it come home back. But it didn't really work out because he just come home back and live like 2 years. And after then, we left for good.
It's these impulsive tendencies that Guyana is trying to tackle. In 2014, it distributed cabinets to farmers to lock away agricultural pesticides, which is how most people here end their lives.
The premise is that these cabinets are used to store these chemicals with more than one key. So that if I want to go open it, I can't open it. I need another person in the family. And the family would know, because if you go at some inappropriate time to go open it, they would know.
But perhaps a more important part of the plan is changing the way that people think. For the past several months, this university in Georgetown has been offering free workshops on how to be less rash when dealing with life's problems.
Look here in Guyana. How many young people commit suicide for the most silliest things ever? Cell phone taken away, commit suicide. Your mother say don't talk to the guy older than you, commit suicide. Psychology is being taught on many different levels. It gives you the foundation, it makes you strong to understand your own personal issues, okay? And to find solution to the situation. Not only see the situation, but find solution.
It's too early to tell if this program geared toward youth and parents will be effective. But in Guyana, it's hoped even these most basic life skills will make a dent.
It gave me a reason to see that suicide is not it. It motivates me, and it gives me a different way of thinking in terms of thinking of my life. It changed me a lot.
I talked to my husband, my daughters, and one son. So they encouraged me to come because they are so confused too.
Mala's outlook has changed now after participating in a similar program.
I got plenty youths thing, I got meeting, I got like plenty occasion. So I think I will make it now and not thinking about doing back drink poison again.
It also helps that she's now gainfully employed as a security guard to provide for her 4 children. But will more work opportunities and yet more programs finally be enough to roll away the cloud that's diminished families in this CARICOM nation?
I miss every moment. We were close. All of them.
Samindra now has only one child left. And while the government of Guyana takes its time to find answers to its biggest public health hazard, for Samindra, she'll always be left with more questions than answers.
I always show them how I struggled to raise them. So why do something like that?
So what do you think? Is the Guyanese government doing enough to tackle this issue of suicides? Send us a comment on our Facebook page. Send us a tweet on Twitter. We're there to keep all of us connected to the Caribbean. Coming up on 18 Degrees North, it's one of the newest attractions in the Caribbean. It's not a water park, not a nature trail. It's a hospital that may well breathe new life into the economy.
I think the volume that they're going to be targeting is maybe at least 100 people a month.
But is the Cayman Islands' latest foray into medical tourism going to work? We'll find out if this healthy investment is the right prescription for the Caribbean. That's next on 18 Degrees North.
When you have credit card debt, the debt suckers' high rate and high pay are everywhere.
They're making another minimum payment. Great. Most of the money goes to us.
One call to Consolidated Credit can get the debt suckers off your neck.
They lower his rates and consolidate his bills into one low payment. Consolidated Credit drives us batty.
Call Consolidated Credit now.
'Cause debt sucks.
Call now.
Call Consolidated Credit at 1-800-414-4159. Call now.
Imagine being able to clear your breakouts fast with a revolutionary new acne treatment that's actually good for your skin. Announcing all new Proactive Plus, the combination of acne medicine plus ultra perfecting skincare. Television star Kristen Ritter calls it a miracle.
I love the new Proactive Plus. It's fighting all my breakouts, and my skin is like porcelain.
The results are astonishing. Your skin is not only clear, but smooth and sexy. It's our smartest, fastest, most effective solution ever. And now, new skincare is in every step to balance acne-prone skin with needed hydration and more.
I have to tell you this is different. Just look at my before and after pictures. That doesn't lie.
So grab your phone and dial the number on your screen now, because today, shipping is free. And get 3 free gifts, a $96 value for just $29.95. Call now.
You will love your skin.
Sun, sea, and sand. They're the bread and butter of most Caribbean islands. But while some continue to take this traditional approach to tourism, others are turning to medicine to ramp things up, clamoring for a slice of a medical tourism industry worth up to $55 billion. But what are the implications? And is it going to work? Emma Gladstone takes us 19 degrees north and 81 degrees west to the Cayman Islands, where its 50,000 plus residents are betting a new multi-billion-dollar facility will become the third pillar of the economy.
Since the age of 21, Trinidadian Wendy Sao has been suffering with a minor heart condition.
I will get palpitations. Maybe that would last about 10 minutes.
After nearly 3 decades of living with a troubled heart, things took a turn for the worse.
At that time, I knew I was getting a heart attack with the symptoms I was getting. Cold sweating, shoulder pains, jaw pains. So I knew what it was.
Wendy was told she needed surgery. Her husband researched facilities in Trinidad, the US and Cuba. Little did they know Cayman, the British overseas territory, was an option. The first phase of the $2 billion Health City Cayman Islands opened in February 2014. With 140 beds to begin, it specialises in heart treatment and surgery and is the brainchild of Dr. Devi Shetty, who built similar hospitals in India.
I was told that the best location for a hospital is a hospital which is built on a ship and parked outside US water. And Cayman Island nearly fits in with that description.
The Caymanian government bought into the idea. It provided tax waivers to build and operate the hospital, easier entry into Cayman for workers and patients. It even capped pain and suffering damages for medical malpractice. All this to diversify its $2.5 billion economy, mostly dependent on banking and tourism.
I think the volume that they're going to be targeting is maybe at least 100 people a month. And if you get that kind of volume coming into the island, plus the assistance that with local patients, we're going to see large benefits.
Dr. Shetty's concept from India is based on a high number of patients to lower healthcare costs. Even though India has more than 1 billion people, the Caribbean and North America combined have close to half that amount.
Thousands of patients are going out of US every day to very remote locations for various healthcare intervention. And Cayman Island is the best and the nearest location.
Some 900,000 Americans ventured abroad for medical treatment last year to countries like Thailand, Mexico and Singapore. A big reason is exorbitant healthcare costs, as highlighted in the 2007 film Sicko, where documentarian Michael Moore took uninsured Americans to Cuba for inexpensive treatment.
They didn't ask for money or an insurance card.
Regina Cervantes.
Just their name and date of birth.
But that was then. This is now. The US Congress in 2010 passed universal healthcare coverage, now being phased in.
We have now just enshrined, as soon as I sign this bill, the core principle that everybody should have some basic security when it comes to their health care.
Which is why healthcare analysts like Maria Todd in Denver, Colorado, questioned the viability of Dr. Shetty's hospital.
I'm not quite sure where he believes his source market will come from. Because if he's thinking that it's the United States, Obamacare might change that for the next 3 to 7 years. It would cover me in Fort Collins, it would cover me in Colorado Springs, it would cover me in Aspen, but it won't cover me in the Caymans.
That may leave the facility dependent on Caribbean nationals, like Wendy and her husband, in search of better treatment at a lower cost, with savings of up to 50% of what it could cost in the United States.
One of the things that really impressed me here is that people seem more concerned for the patient than the money.
But in the future, Cayman will have to compete on more than just price. Nearby islands like Jamaica and the Bahamas are also trying to enter the industry, worth up to $55 billion. And US hospitals are now targeting the same Caribbean nationals in countries like Aruba.
We've also seen US entities like Jackson Memorial, University of Miami, Baptist Hospital, all reaching out with new tentacles on other islands. And so they have the ability to be instantly productive.
Dr. Shetty's Health City Cayman Islands is hoping the quality of its care and state-of-the-art centre will make the difference. There is round-the-clock virtual monitoring by doctors in India, world-class equipment, and even after hospital, recuperating in the tropics.
You're operated on and you're able to stay in their hotel for a few days, come out and stay in another hotel here in the Cayman Islands, which benefits the local economy.
But with only 26 procedures in its first 3 months of operation, the results have fallen far short of the 100 per month the government expected. And while only time will tell whether things turn around or prove a tragically expensive gamble, for patients like Wendy Sow, statistics are inconsequential.
All the staff here was very accommodating and helpful, and they made you feel very at home. They were very attentive.
She's been given a second lease on life.
They say a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. And if this bird whistles in Trinidad and Tobago, it can be worth thousands.
Come baby, one.
But what happens when a cultural pastime hits a sour note? Find out next on 18 Degrees North.
Are you a man over 40 and feeling tired, losing muscle, have less romantic drive? Then call now for the Ageless Male Free Testosterone Giveaway. For the first time ever, not just 100 or 1,000, but But every man who calls in the next few minutes will receive a free 30-day supply of ageless male. Ageless male has ingredients clinically shown to increase free testosterone levels, and that supports muscle health, boosts romantic drive, and supports energy metabolism. Even though we've already sold over 800,000 bottles of Ageless Male, this is the first time ever we're offering Ageless Male for free. All you pay is shipping and handling. More muscle, more romantic drive, more energy. And it all starts with this amazing offer, the Ageless Male Free Testosterone Giveaway. Your free 30-day supply is waiting for you. Call now.
Don't delay. This is a limited time offer. Call 1-800-473-7364 to secure your free bottle today. That's 1-800-473-7364. Call now.
Homeowners Relief Line can help save your home. We specialize in foreclosure assistance, and that's all we do. If you're behind on your mortgage payments, being threatened with foreclosure, have been denied a loan modification, or been the victim of a predatory loan, it's critical that you call Homeowners Relief Line now. Homeowners Relief Line has a network of attorneys, and our agents are available to speak to you right away. New laws are in effect that may save your home, so call Homeowners Relief Line now.
One of the pleasures of waking up in the Caribbean is the chirping sound of birds, singing sweetly to welcome the morning. But in Trinidad and Tobago, bird chirping is more than just a delightful wake-up call. It's a career for some birds and big business. Almost every weekend, feathered finches square off to see which one can whistle most. The trainers called birdmen bet big for fun and serious money. But as Jabara Fraser found out, some of these birdmen are also in violation of wildlife protection laws. For more on this cultural pastime, let's head to Trinidad and Tobago at 10 degrees north and 61 degrees west.
It's Sunday morning and birdman Johnny George is driving stakes into the ground. He's setting the stage for one intense bird whistling competition.
Call your friends somewhere, say you want a race on Sunday, and he say, yeah, I'm ready for you, man. So where? Say Donmeagle Road. Right, we will meet there at 8 o'clock Donmeagle Road and we will run a race.
The race is always between male bullfinches, and their handlers bet big.
What money? Let we talk 3,000, 5,000 a month.
Even in US dollars, we're talking at least 500.
All is due to this Messiah. That the man called Mr. Johnny.
Johnny, as he's known, is the Grandmaster of Trinidad's birdmen. 86 years old, he's been competing for 70 years and knows the game like no other.
The bird that make the most song in half an hour win. You have a scorer, objector, because sometimes the owner of the bird might call a roll and the bird and sing. You know, the game. He would say no. You understand?
Come baby, one. What are we talking about?
Owners urge on their birds to keep singing, while the scorers keep tally as the race unfolds. On this day, two prized birds square off, fighting to the last chirp. But there can be only one winner.
The score is 152 to 127.
The most talented birds can be worth up to 9,000 US dollars. And it all depends on how well they're trained.
One.
Carl Peters has been a trainer and racer for 50 years.
They have to walk, they have to shy it, you know, with other stronger birds than yourself and things, and, you know, get him to sing short and, you know, the shorter a bird could sing and faster he could sing, it's better the bird.
Training birds to whistle is not deemed harmful. Still, because Trinidad's bird population has been dwindling for not fully diagnosed reasons, the government recently restricted the possession of birds. Now, birdmen, for the most part, need a permit.
Well, wherever there is a change, you will always find resistance to change. However, persons have been applying, which means that even though there may be resistance, you have people who are willing to comply with the law.
Police are now seizing birds held without permits and claim they return them to the wild. Customs officers are also on the lookout for those being smuggled in from other countries, as some carry disease, a threat to the poultry industry and human health. But for birdmen like Johnny, nothing, including the new restrictions, will deter his lifelong passion.
I doubt very much that any one minister truly know about birds. one.
He says birdmen, rather than destroy birds, are helping preserve different species on the island.
Now we're trying to breed the birds in cage. That's what we're trying to do right now. Because we too understand that it's not as it used to be. No fault of ours. We love birds. And we will do imaginable thing to have birds in Trinidad.
Back at home,
This is the beginning of my treasures.
surrounded by his birds and his trophies, Johnny is in his element. He takes a minute to savor his prized feathered companions before turning to the job of preparing for the next bird whistling competition.
So this is where we bring 18 Degrees North to a close for this week. Join us online, look us up on Twitter and on Facebook. We're there to keep all of us connected to the Caribbean. From all of us here at 18 Degrees North, I'm Zara Burton. Thanks so much for watching and see you next time.